Where do we start when we talk about the Austrian Grand Prix? We could talk about the sprint race, but the bits of that were a bit uninteresting, apart from the fact that Gasly did to Hamilton what Russell did to Gasly last time out at Silverstone. And then at the same time, in the actual race, Russell did to Perez what Lewis did to Albon in 2019. It's weird to think that, the different Mercedes drivers seem to be mimicking each other at the moment. And Lewis Hamilton getting 3/3 in a row shows that he's starting to get some kind of consistency and some kind of comfort in the W13. Carly thinks we could see him contending for wins in this season. And the 40-second gap at the end of the race doesn't paint an optimistic picture. But then remember, he started way back in the mid-pack after, having to climb back through from early race damage in the sprint yesterday, and also that crash in qualifying. But George Russell, 20 seconds behind his teammate, had to do an extra stop early on because he was serving a 5-second time penalty and changing his wing because of the contact with Perez, which ultimately led to Perez's retirement from the Austrian Grand Prix. And there were a couple of retirements we had from this race. Nicholas Latifi, I still haven't seen anything about why Latifi retired. And then we all saw what happened to Carlos Sainz's spectacular engine failure, and the engine basically detonating. What was that thing that Enzo Ferrari said all those years ago about aerodynamics and people not being able to build engines? I don't know. But either way, Leclerc got a win, despite the fact that his throttle pedal was like that of Logitech G29, where the potentiometers start to go out after excessive use. Though that said, my old Frostmaster TLCMs also did the same thing. That was an annoying time when my throttle would jam fully open or fully shut. It's usually fully open as well, which was probably the most annoying one. But either way, behind that top four of Leclerc, Verstappen, Hamilton and Russell, we saw Ocon in 5th place. A fantastic drive on his 100th race with Alpine? Was it 100th race with Alpine or 100th race in F1? I honestly can't remember at this point. But either way, that was... yeah, it must be his 100th race in F1, isn't it? Yeah. So 100 races of Alpine. He's only done 2 seasons with this is his 2nd season with Alpine itself, so that's 30 something. But of course, ran it before that, what have you. But yeah, good stuff for Ocon, 5th place. Mick Schumacher 6th, another nice haul of points for the young German driver, outperforming his teammate as well. Magnus ended up sandwiched between the two McLarens of Norris in 7th and Ricciardo in 9th, with Alonso picking up that last point in 10th place. Unsafe pit release he was investigated for, or something along those lines. Bottas ended up outside the points at 11th, with Albon in 12th, who was a contender for points for most of the day. That upgrade package on the Williams looks pretty alright, especially around certain tracks. Stroll 13th, Zhou 14th, Gasly 15th, Tsunoda 16th, Vettel 17th, but that doesn't speak volumes about what happened because, again, Gasly hit him round and off the track. So it doesn't really tell you the whole story. But those AlphaTauris, they really need to start to work on the spatial awareness a bit more. I mean, it was 12 months ago that Leclerc came across from Gasly in his race at... I can't remember which race it was at Austria, from coming across on him. And that was on the first lap. And now Gasly has had 3 incidents he's caused in the past 2 race weekends. Actually, he was backwards in the first corner today, wasn't he? So it could be 4. He's been involved in 5, including when Tsunoda went backwards into him at Silverstone, which is a worrying trend for the young Frenchman. Whilst his compatriot Ocon is way up there, 5th place, Gasly is down in 15th. Either way, these races are kind of taking them as it is at the moment. In terms of the actual championship, it looks like it's much closer now. You've got still a race weekend, but all a sprint race weekend's advantage for Verstappen over, I believe it's still Leclerc in 2nd. But yeah, it's been an alright race for an alright season. I can't really say much else right now because it's hard to get a bit infused when that championship is not wide open. I mean, it's mathematically Leclerc can come back, but it's not that entertaining. It's more on a race-by-race basis, and we've had 2 really solid races, and I hope Paul Ricard will be more of the same, especially with the rumours that it could be off the calendar again soon. But anyways, those are my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching, and hope to see you again soon. Bye for now.